Hello and welcome to the video for Thursday, November 5th for Advanced Web Design. Let you guys in from the waiting room. Hola. How you guys doing today?
Pretty well.
Good. Anything new to report in your existences, or is everything pretty much the same? Okay, we'll assume that's kind of things staying steady. All right, let's see. I mean, I got wings yesterday, says Trevor. Well, that doesn't seem unusual for you, Trevor. My question would be, what did you take right before you thought you got wings? That would be my question for you. Okay, well, let's see. So take a drink, right? Yes, exactly. So let me go ahead and check the class website and see what's on there for us for today. Okay. So the first thing I would like to check in with you guys on is, does anybody who didn't have a finished website earlier in the week or last week, I should say, have a finished one today that we could look at? Doing this kind of thing. This means anticipation. Highly anticipating.
Mine's finished for what it's worth.
Oh, cool. Okay. So maybe we can take a look. Let me go there. Let's see. So Pima CC Web. Oh wait, I don't want to go in that. I want to go in this one. Okay, Pima CC Web.com, and I think it's, I want to say H3. Okay, and then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, does this look about right, Heather?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here is Heather's Mocha site. And let's scroll down here. Ooh, that's awfully cool, that little animation. Oh, that's nice. So is that just an Elementor thing?
Yeah, it is.
Very cool. All right, and there's a cool background thing. Ooh, look at all those masks. So does this happen to be like real art from one of their exhibits?
Yeah, it's from, I think it's the Mocha in LA's shop.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Are you a big fan of Mochas?
I actually really like Mocha. It was really hard not to buy anything from the LA one because they had a bunch of like really cool vases that were like a vase inside of a vase, but they're very expensive.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite places to go, of course I love museums, but I think I may love museum shops even more than museums. Just because they just get the most outlandish, creative, cool stuff in some of those, especially in the big cities, right? So yeah, well, this looks really great. And then let's see, we can click on these links up here. So you did something interesting, which is put the logo over on the right hand side, which is different than what most people do. And of course, Mocha's all about being different. Now, is this all real people from Mocha?
Yes, it's from the Tucson Mocha. I try to theme mine around like the Tucson Mocha.
Right.
But like lightly.
Okay, and then you use like some stuff from other places?
I mean, all the artists that are on this page are all artists that I personally like. So I just added artists that I bought art from.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, that looks very nice. And then here's our contact. Oh, that's nice. I like that top image. Wow. All right, our shop. Let's see what's in the museum shop, shall we? My favorite.
I know it's not much.
Yeah, you guys got to stock up your shelves, man. Oh, is this the example of the vase?
Yeah, those are the vases I really want, but they're really that expensive. They're like $55 for like a pair of matching vases. And I
That's
want the whole collection.
that's really expensive. Now, I don't quite understand what it is. Is this like a recessed point inside of the vase? What is this?
It's just a smaller vase inside a vase. Like you see the single flower on the far right. You can just put
Oh,
it like individually in it.
I
I
see.
think maybe I think only like one of them you can put the individual one in it, and then maybe the left one you put it around it.
It
I
looks like you can flip them.
Oh, that'd be. Oh, okay, yeah. He's
you,
onto something.
you do what? Flip them? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's what it is. You flip it one way. Okay, you flip it this way and it's that, and you flip it the other way and it's this, right? Okay. Ah, yeah, I know what you mean. I'll go in there and see the coolest thing, and I know I'll never see it anywhere else. I know I'll never go online and buy it, and so I just have to be ridiculous with money if I want to get a cool thing. Um, let's see. Better safe than sorry. All these cool masks, and then some cool shirts. All right, very nice. Uh, and then of course the checkout in my account, and then we have a donate button here.
Yeah, that's the only one that doesn't have like a page link to it because I couldn't find it as a button, which is really weird.
Uh, you mean you couldn't find the way to link that thing?
Yeah, like it won't let me edit it. I think it's actually in not Elementor. It's in like the theme setting, and that's why I couldn't like mess with that particular button.
Yeah, yeah, I know something like that. You might have to search the help or the FAQ or the knowledge base for the theme itself. You know,
Yeah,
to find that. Okay. All right. Very cool. Well, I think you did a super nice job, Heather. This looks really great.
thanks.
Now, oh look, there's even more stuff down here. So you guys be sure and take screenshots of all of this stuff to put in your portfolios because, well, definitely at the end of the year, you know, I'm going to have to trash all these and recycle them for the next group. But it's possible that it may happen even before the end of the year. As you guys know, I just sent you an email with a bunch of new websites. And you know, all these websites are on the same server. And if we put enough junk into this new set of websites, I'm going to start getting these messages. Your server is 95% full, and then I'm going to have to go back in and hack, you know, delete these other websites to make space for that. So please do take screenshots of these bad boys for your portfolio. And if you create a site that you just really want to keep, then maybe make a SiteGround account and transfer it over. Okay, very nice. Does anyone else have a site we haven't seen yet that they want to share with us? Oh, I got to open my chat as well here. Okay. Okay, very good. All right, so next, what I want to talk to you guys about is an opportunity to work on an actual website and see if any of you guys are interested in this. So are you guys familiar at all with the Aztec, the Pima college newspaper? Sort of. Trevor answers. Trevor is the responder for everybody. Okay. Anyway, so Pima College has a newspaper, kind of like the U of A has the Arizona Daily Wildcat. It's called the Aztec. And of course, since virtually, well, I won't say nobody, but since a lot of people are not attending Pima on a regular basis anymore, they're attending virtually. The Aztec has decided to create a virtual publication, an online publication. So they are creating a website. And my understanding is that they've bought hosting at GoDaddy and that they're going to create a website there. Now, GoDaddy has several different options for creating websites, including WordPress. And then I think they have their own kind of custom option as well as some other software they can use. But anyway, the folks over at the Aztec contacted me through some other people, and they're wondering if there's any students who are interested in working on this project with them. Uh, they want information. They want people who can sort of advise them on graphics that might look good, you know, for this website, and possibly even somebody who might know a little bit about web design that could help them answer some questions and things. So do you think any of you guys might be interested? And of course I can, if there's more than one person, I can send a couple names over there, and I'm sure that they could find, you know, things for more than one person to do as far as like giving input and all that kind of stuff. So Trevor, you said you'd be interested. Okay. Anyone else interested in, you know, checking out this opportunity? Okay. Well, if you think about it and you are decide that that might be something you want to look into, let me know, and I will send your information over there. Trevor, I'll send an email to them, and I'll copy you on it, and I'll say, you know, this is one of my students who is interested in talking to you guys about what you're doing, and please contact him and move forward in that regard. Okay, so thank you, Trevor. Okay, let me go back to the class website, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right, so next, I just want to check you guys did get the email, right, with the new websites on it? Yes?
Yeah, mine's working fine.
You got it? Okay, great. Okay, so what I want to do now is talk a little bit about that project. Now, so everybody has a partner, and now, you know, somebody who you're going to be designing a website for, and they're going to be designing a website for you. And so hopefully you guys have connected by now and talked a little bit about your ideas, and now you can kind of move forward with presenting each other with, you know, some either mock-ups or sketches or even written ideas, or talk about concepts or whatever, so you can both move forward on that project. And what I wanted to do was kind of go through and have everybody tell me where they are as far as conceptually, like, you know, A, did you talk to your partner? B, what did you decide you were going to do for the project? And C, have you made any progress on it at all? So let me start with you, Trevor. Oh, and now wait, let me ask a quick question here, because I see okay, I see yes and yeah. Okay, that was for that you received the email. Okay. So let me start with you, Trevor. Did you connect with let's see, Dylan's your partner, right? Did you connect with him and decide what you're going to do? You're going to make, okay, you're going to make Dylan a website about donuts similar to your pizza one. Is there going to be anything special about these donuts? Do we know? Are they going to be laced with Molly, or are they going to be in the shape of famous buildings from around the world? I mean, what are the, or maybe we don't know yet. I want to make it the importance of donuts. Okay. Donuts are pretty important. Okay, right. So you're working on that. Now, do you have any idea what Dylan will be doing? Oh, Dylan's here. Dylan, can you tell me what you'll be doing for Trevor? He's making a parody of Guy Code Advice websites.
Kind of like the MTV show, but like a website.
Okay, so like it's
like
a parody
on that.
So it's like what Guy Code is. In other words, what the rules that guys live by, kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Those both sound fun. Now, do you guys think maybe you could create some form of a mock-up or a sketch or something for next week?
I was working on a logo right now. Like,
you don't have anything we can look at, do you?
Not yet, but I was like working on a couple of things.
Okay. Well, you know, treat your partner like a client, and which means don't return their phone calls and cash their check. No, I'm kidding.
Them.
You know, but like make something for them. You know, make a Photoshop mock-up, or or whatever you think is appropriate, and send it to them and get their feedback from it. And then hopefully you guys can share that with us next week, you know, what you made, what they said about it, and you know, what your reaction to that is going to be. Okay. All right. So then let's go. Okay, Heather, you happen to be next on my list just because it's randomly listing people.
Oh, it's fine. I do have a XD mock-up for your thing, and hopefully it's going in the direction that you wanted. It should be in like the Google Drive.
Yeah, and then of course my XD won't be current enough because it never is with you guys. You're always updating your stuff. Okay, let me see. Google Drive. What is this damn thing I can't get out of? I should be able to get past this. Oh, it's somebody else's Google Drive. That's why. Let's see. Okay, Heather. Okay, Heather. dar257. Well, let's see. Oh, come on. I don't know what it is with this thing. Sometimes it works perfectly and sometimes it sucks. Okay, so let's see. dar257. Collectibles.
Yes.
Okay, forgive me if I have to update XD. I think I should force all you guys to downgrade to whatever my level of XD is, so I never have to upgrade. Okay, let's see. Let's see what it says. What do you think the odds are it's going to make me an update? Probably 100%? 110%? So Heather, did you get the email I sent right before class?
About the website? Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, this it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so, oh, wow. So you picked the scary toys. Nice.
I figured that one was like the most like kind of difficult to like do something with, at least in my head. So I went with it.
Oh, because you wanted the challenge?
Yeah, it's like how do you even like do something with that audience, you know?
Right. So what I did, you know, we have an odd number of students, so I became Heather's partner in this project. And of course, she wasn't able to attend class last week, so we just emailed each other about it. Now, normally, if you're talking to your partner about it, you can talk and you can, you know, share ideas and you can kind of work something out. But we didn't have that advantage, so we were just going to do it through email. So what I did instead was I gave her 3 different ideas and said, why don't you pick one of these that works for you instead of just sticking her with one idea, right? So there was this one. I forget what the other 2 were. Do you remember, Heather?
I believe one was a site for architecture and the other one was a site for alternative clothing.
Okay, right. All right. So I tried to pick things that I thought might be interesting, things that I might have fun with, in hopes that she would find something interesting. And if she had written me back and said, Greg, these all suck, can you give me a couple other choices? I would have done that, you know? Anyway, so this is really cool. So this is a color palette. Did you get this from Color Lovers?
I did.
Okay, that's awesome. And then this is your mock-up, and it looks great. So one of the choices, the one she picked was a toy store that sells some kind of specialty toys, like for example, toys that scare children. So this is a website with scary toys on it. So we see the alien guy, we see Chucky. Is this like Predator guy? I don't know. Who is that guy?
Yeah, it's Predator.
Okay, that is a Star Wars guy, right?
Yes. A
And then
shock trooper or something.
a stormtrooper. Unless there is a shock trooper. And then who's this guy right here?
I went in the Batman section and it's supposed to be like a special like Joker Batman statue from like a comic book.
Oh, a Joker Batman. That's cool. All right, and then these are, and so you get toys that it sells toys from popular culture, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what do you guys think? Can you give us some feedback on this site? What do you think of the color scheme? What do you think of the layout? Trevor says, dang, this looks bomb. I like the look of it so far. This is the Batman who laughs.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Yeah, the Joker Batman, that makes sense. Cool. Okay, any other feedback? Do you guys, you know, do you have any ideas about what else should be on this site? Like, should there be pictures of children playing with these toys, or children being scared by their mom with these toys? I mean, what should the hook of this website be? You know, if your kids are bad, buy these toys and they'll start being good because you'll bring them out, you know, if they're not. Or should she go with, or should it be a site that, you know, they're toys, but they're really marketed to adults who are still kids inside because they're maybe kind of expensive, you know?
I think you could go either way.
Either way?
Yeah, you could go like either way because some people actually have a genuine liking for that, like as a kid, but also there are nerdy adults who would buy that too.
Okay, that's good advice. You know, something may seem obvious to you guys. It didn't seem obvious to me for a long time, but toys are not marketed to kids. Toys are marketed to adults because adults are the ones who have the money to buy the toys. So I thought, wow, that's a really interesting concept. And we're talking about young kids here, right? So that means, you know, whether or not she's trying to make these sales, you know, ultimately for kids or for adults, they're probably going to be bought by adults. So that means she has to do two things. She has to make it so they're appealing to adults, but also make it so that when the kids see them, there's enough bells and whistles and hooks that the kids are like, yeah, I want that for Christmas or whatever. Okay, now Trevor says, I think the dark background lends well to help show off the colors of the toys. Seems more like a collector site than a kid site. Okay, well, that's an interesting point. What do you think about that, Heather? Do you think the way it looks, it might cater more to adults who collect than kids necessarily?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with him on that. I need to tweak it a little bit more. It's just like, how do you gear something for kids? It's just kind of like something out of my element. So I'm gonna have to look at Toys R Us a bunch and figure it out.
Well, either that, or we could decide to move forward with having it be for adults. I mean, do you like the idea of it going for kids because it's more of a challenge?
I'm okay with either of them. Personally, I do shop from 2 websites that have these figures. So it's like, I wouldn't mind making one for adults, but it'd probably definitely be more challenging, but I could do it.
Well, I tell you what. How about this? What if you just made one mock-up homepage that would be for the kids site? All right. And then because that's a challenge for you, it's like it's out of your comfort zone, right? And then we can decide which way we want to move forward. Like, who knows, you might stumble onto something and be like, I really like this. I didn't think I would like this, but I would like to make the kids version of the site, you know? Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I can go for that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this looks great. You know, make that mock-up of the, you know, the one marketing to children, and then we'll take a look at it, and we can decide which one we want to go forward with, and then maybe we can decide on the name for the site. You know, I'd be happy to allow you to come up with the name and the logo based on which direction you choose, because obviously we're not going to choose, you know, death metal toys if it's for kids, right? um, and I don't think we choose death metal toys anyway because it's a terrible name. Okay, all right, but nice job. Looks really good. Now, so with Heather, she sent me some ideas, and let's see. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to open my email to remember them. Or do you remember them off the top of your head, Heather? The 3 ideas you sent me?
One was a coffee shop,
Yep.
like rustic theme with like elevated chocolate and can be Arizona themed. I think another one was like a punk coffee shop that had like a California skating vibe, and then another one was a Southwestern resale site for clothing.
Right, for hipster clothing, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I picked the Southwestern retail site for hipster clothing because I just felt more of a connection for that one. And so what I did was, and this is something sort of akin to what I might do for a real client, is I sent Heather a link to the Astra template page. So let me go there real quick. So Astra WordPress theme starter templates. So I sent Heather a link to this page. Now, the reason I sent her a link to this page is because I like Astra. I'm using it. I even paid for the professional upgrade. It was like $45 a year or something like that, which means that all of these things that say agency on it, I think I get to use those as well as the free ones, right? So what I did was assuming Heather's the client, I said, hey, I want to do the hipster clothing resale site. And I sent her a link and I said, hey, do any of these templates look like a good jumping off point for you? Do you like the style, the layout, any of these, right? Now that's kind of a hard question to ask a client, because when they see something like this, they're just going to see, they're not necessarily going to have the vision to see what their product would look like on this site. They're just going to see whatever that site is. But with Heather, I know she has some experience with web design. And so I'm like, well, Heather would be able to tell if she thinks this is a good site for a good layout for a clothing site, or this one, So that was my first sort of volley to my client was, hey, listen, there's this WordPress theme that I love to use. It's really great. It's easy to use. It's easy to teach to clients. And let's start off by this. Look at this and tell me if there's any layouts on here that you like. And that'll do a couple things for me. It'll put me in the ballpark of the kind of design style that she likes. She might come back with 2 or 3 things. She might say, hey, I like women empowerment, custom printing pro, and courier delivery service. That would give me a choice of some different ones to work with. And then, and it's also possible she might look at them and go, no, I don't like any of these. And then we could start a conversation about that. Like, well, what was it about them? What are you looking for that you didn't find? And if she says, well, I want things that are super minimalistic, I'm like, oh, okay. So now she's pointing me in a direction. Now I can bring a new round of ideas to her. Now, of course, in addition to this kind of thing, I could have sent her, and this will probably be down the road, I could have gone out and found existing websites that sell a similar type of product, right? Like, Buffalo Exchange, for example, here is a resale site in the Southwest that has some hipster clothes. So I could have found their website and some other similar websites and sent those to her and said, do you like any of these sites? What do you like about them? If you don't like them, what don't you like? Because it's all about, narrowing the focus down to what the client likes and providing them with that. Okay. So, and when she gets a chance, I'm sure she'll look at this stuff and get back to me. Okay, so let's go down the list here. So next we have Daniel, and I think is Ariana's your partner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys have a chance to decide on anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ariana, what are you going to be making?
Daniel's asking for like what sounds like a national, like lost and found website. It would be run by the government, and you could go to it and see if your lost item is there.
Wow, that's a cool idea. I like that. Do you think there is such a thing, Daniel, or did you just come up with it?
I haven't been able to find it. The closest thing is there's a site run by some government agency that will match you to unclaimed property, but it's just financial stuff in banks. It doesn't deal with portable personal property.
That's kind of a brilliant idea. Like if you could find some way to monetize that, like you do it for free, but donations are accepted. Certainly people that got stuff returned to them would almost certainly give you something, and it could be it could be a moneymaker as well as helping people out. So Ariana, what are your thoughts as far as like what your first steps are?
I've been looking at a lot of government-run websites just to kind of get an idea of what their layouts look like, just so it can kind of fit that theme.
Yeah, and then the question is, how are you going to list things too? Is it going to be like a Craigslist sort of search? How are you going to search? Is it going to be by state, by date, by is it going to be by GPS coordinates? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's probably going to have to be a couple categories and filters there to try and find exactly what you're looking for, like items, jewelry, pets. I don't know.
Children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we found your kid in Nebraska. Oh, man, we just left him there. We didn't want him back. You can have him. I'm kidding. Let's see. Category by item, then filter by state. That's what Trevor says. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. It's a huge challenge. I mean, obviously, you're not going to build any kind of database or whatever that's going to do all this insane stuff, but it's a really cool challenge as far as like deciding which way to approach it. Are you going to approach it, like item first and then state, or is it going to be like a a big search box where you click on these drop down menus and make all the choices at once, and then it hits the database and pulls back all the things, you know. I keep thinking of Craigslist because that's the thing I can think of where you can search for, you know, virtually anything, or even I guess eBay, right? Or Amazon for that matter. Okay, cool. And then what are you asking him to make for you, Ariana?
Like a law office, an attorney's office website.
What kind of office?
Attorney, lawyer.
Oh, attorney, a lawyer's office. Okay. And any sort of, is there anything special about it? Are they, do they practice a certain kind of law? Are they aiming for low income, high income? Any specifics?
I don't have very many specifics at this point. I know it's an immigration lawyer.
It's an immigration. Okay.
That's really it at this point.
That's about as much as you have. Okay. And then, so Daniel, what are your thoughts as far as what you're gonna, what kind of research you're gonna do, or what you're gonna prepare for Ariana?
I haven't done much yet. One thing I have for mine, I have a responsibility as a client so far. I figured I'd provide her with a logo of the organization and a name of like whatever agency would be running it. So I've just been doodling, trying to figure what that would look like. As far as for the website I'm making for her, I believe the way that she's described it, I got the impression it's kind of like their marketing style, maybe more like, I guess, like Lerner and Rowe or something, where it's more, we're going to fight for you, and rather than being like very formal, about, it's kind of more kind of a passionate, we're tough as nails, never let go kind of thing. So one thing I was thinking, I guess, is, it seems like, most of offices and, there that go that direction, they just, focus on red or maybe like a bright highlighter yellow color, for their design. And I was wondering if I could, get away with like making the main color be green. I can make that work, but I haven't really experimented with it too much yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds like good. You got your head wrapped around that pretty good. So, all right, excellent. So you guys both have some ideas, and you have, well, you have a project, a type of website to build, and now you can start to build out some concepts or some visuals for your client to see what they like and which direction they want to go in. Okay, let's see. So Grady, I'm tempted to say your partner is probably Sean, who isn't here right now. Is that right? Okay. And then did you guys talk at all about what you're gonna do? Yes, I have some specs in my folder that I made for him, and then I'm going to do a restaurant website for him. So we can go in your folder and look at those specs, I'm assuming. Okay. So don't tell me right here. Okay, this is it then, the Nightshade or photography website? Okay, so let me see. So this is what you're sending to him, the site you want him to make. So it's a photography website. Use whatever photos you want. Find dark theme with one accent color. Oh, I like that. I like that you gave him a very specific set of demands, because now he has to accommodate that. Pages home, call to action to view photos, sampling of best photos, gallery, lightbox style gallery with the company's sample photography, about us, text with image of our building, location, phone number, contact, email form, social media, and phone number. Okay. The company is Nightshade Photos LLC. You can design logo. That's very cool. Address and phone, about us, text, Nightshade. This is great that you gave him some actual content to put in there. And, and it's a good idea, I guess, for all of us to maybe provide at least a minimal amount of content for our designer. you know, even if it's just a bogus paragraph and a bogus name of the company or whatever. Now you guys can talk about it. If one of you wants to create all that on your own, you're more than welcome to. But if the designer would rather have you, the client, provide something to them like this, then please work that out as well. Because sometimes it's nice to get something from the client, because then you have to respond to that. You know, it's more of a challenge because they give you a name and now you have to come up with a logo for that. And, you know, they give you some about text that you have to put in. So the about text says, Nightshade Photos is a well-established photography company that can cater to all of your photography needs. We do photography for a wide range of clients, everything from weddings to formal events. Give us a call at blah, 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 or stop by our shop in Florida for outstanding service and excellent photography. Okay, excellent. And then, nice job, Grady. So did he tell you anything about the restaurant that you're gonna do for him? Like, you know, what kind of food, or is it upscale, or where's it located, any of that stuff? He hasn't said anything yet. Said he's gonna today. Okay. All right. So yeah, after he does that, then you'll have something to work on. And of course, you sent him this. Okay. Let me go back to the class website here real quick. Dreamco.com. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, so of course, and I'm really glad that Heather did that XD demo because of course, XD is such a great program to use for this type of thing. It's so good at doing mock-ups. But of course, you guys can work with whatever program you like, be it Photoshop or Illustrator, whatever, wherever your comfort zone is. Now, one of the huge advantages of XD is that you can easily go from mock-up to wireframe. And of course, a wireframe is a version of the website where you basically linked a bunch of mock-ups together, but it's actually clickable. And XD was made for that, basically, you know, to create mock-ups, wireframes that you can use for websites or apps or stuff like that. So if you guys are familiar with this program and want to use it, you know, I highly recommend it. It's a great one for that purpose. Now, of course, you have your websites too, which I made, you know, I created for you. And if you want to use those to a certain extent to do mock-ups too, you may, you know, like you could, for example, let's say that, let's say you're Sean and you got this very specific information from Grady. And he said like, you know, sort of a dark themed website with one accent color, right? So what Sean could do, he could, you know, go log into the WordPress website that I created, and he could go search the WordPress database and look specifically for dark theme photography or portfolio websites. And he could download like 6 of them into his WordPress. And then he could make a connection with Grady, and he could say, hey, you know, here are, you know, the top designs that I found. Do you like any of these? And if Grady says, yeah, I like, you know, this one is my top pick, then he can easily just click a button and turn that one on and, you know, start doing a mock-up in there on the actual website. Now, of course, he wouldn't have to download all 6 to his website. He could just literally go in and get the links to the demos of those sites and send them to Grady, or he could even just get, you know, the thumbnail pictures of each site as long as it was big enough and stack them all up on a page and send that over. So, you know, the bottom line is you got to start with getting some direction from the client as to where they want you to head. And of course, you know, we're going to try and be nice to each other and not, you know, be overly demanding. So even if somebody wants something very specific, if it's going to be very difficult for you to do, and you think there's maybe a better idea, you could try and talk them into that just the same way you would a client. You know, if a client says, I want to make a website that has 300 items on it, and invest a lot in an e-commerce store, your first question might be, have you ever run an e-commerce store before? And if they say no, then you might say, why don't we start a site with 24 products on it and go from there? You know, in other words, sometimes you have to help clients help themselves by guiding them in the correct direction. Okay, so, all right, so with that, what I think I'm going to do is let you guys take the rest of the time in this period in this class today and work on all of this, right? So work on your ideas, work on your concepts that you're going to share with your client, facilitate communication with them so you make sure you're on the same page. Go to your website and log in and make sure everything's working, and email me if it's not, and so on and so forth. Okay, so and then I will check back with you at the end of the period and see how you're doing. If you have any questions, you can just pop in. I'm just going to turn my video off. But does anybody have any questions now before we start working on this stuff? Okay, so why don't you guys go to work on that, and then, like I said, just pop in either verbally or through chat if you have a question for me.